Are you ready yet?
Do you want me to use that as the opener into the bed?
Sure. If that's what you'd like to do, Mark, it's your show.
This is Mark and Charity's Coffee Podcast.
I'm totally keeping that for the intro of the podcast
I know you are.
today.
Why do you think I said it?
Because you think it's true, and that's such garbage.
What, that it's your show?
Yeah.
Or that I just make noises? Thanks a little
Everybody
bit of
loves
both.
you. Everybody loves you, and
You creep them out.
and I creep people out. Hi, everybody. Mark and Charity Coffee
That's what
Podcast.
we learned in yesterday's podcast.
Welcome to the show. Another day. Same two clowns. Right off the hop, I want to say hi to Brandy Hodge and everybody at the United Way.
Yes.
They're kicking off their
Big
campaign
day.
today. We won't include the phone call because it's quite possible by the time that you hear this, it will be the afternoon. They're having a barbecue at lunch today. If you got your ticket, thanks for going. Toss a few dollars into the hat just to cover the cost of the barbecue. Thanks to P&G for their constant sponsorship and support. And
McDowell's.
McDowell's for donating all of the food. Absolutely correct, Charity. And thank you to the United Way for all they're going to do over the next 4 months to raise, I'm going to guess, slightly north of $2 million. We'll have that tomorrow morning
Because
on
it was
the
about
show.
$2 million they raised last year, correct?
Yeah, plus a few thousand,
Okay.
which is really, really impressive.
It's amazing, especially
Right.
coming out of the pandemic. That's
I chaired
incredible.
it back in 2009 during the housing crisis. There was, again, the nerves that they're always the same thing as during the pandemic. Ugh, what's donations going to look like? And we still, I think, set a record when we raised $1.6 million. And that was a lot of money, and it is. So
Still a
to
lot
still
of
be
money.
on the air and watch them hit $2 million for a couple of years now was really great. So that is going to be coming up today.
So many people benefit from that. It's
Keep
just,
your eye,
it's
on
amazing.
inquinty.ca for the full story, but we'll have that for you tomorrow morning. So nice work on that, P&G and United Way. Good on you. So we talked about that this morning. We're going to get to our happy list, the length of happiness. Just such a funny, arbitrary. We should probably spend some time with that and unpack that later. Like,
Okay.
who decides how good you feel after you eat a chocolate bar and for how long? Don't know. Seems
Wrong.
so unscientific.
Whoever is, they're wrong.
Yeah. But let's get some family fun together. We talked with Susan Walsh of the Chamber of Commerce.
Coming up this weekend, it's the return of the Family Fun Fest.
Hey, Susan, remember when there wasn't a lot going on a couple of years ago? And we all said, man, I can't wait till we're so busy again.
Yes.
Welcome to
Well,
those
here we are.
days. Here we
I
are.
remember that well because I'm exhausted this year.
Let's,
Asking myself why.
let's talk about this Family Fun Fest and Tetra Truck going on Saturday.
I know it's going to be so exciting to get back in person with this event. We did manage through COVID and presented our Market in the Park, which were great events, but we're so glad to bring this one back. People will remember all the arts and crafts with the fall themes. We have building kits for kids to play around with. We have the kindness rock painting. We have a lovely lady who comes and helps people make corn husk dolls that you can put on your door or your veranda or whatever for the holiday season, like around Thanksgiving. We have, about 20 local artisans with homemade clothing, accessories, household items, all that great stuff. Balloons, of course, face painting. We have a lot of surprise giveaways. And Farmtown Park is on site with us with some fun stuff for kids, including Mater. And everybody
good.
loves Mater. And there's also photo ops with Shaker the cow from Reed's Dairy. They're going to bring some product down and have some fun. The senators are going to be there. And you know what? That's our part of the event. But then the Rotary Club of Belleville is coming on board with Touch a Truck. So we're not just talking the city vehicles and the police, fire, ambulance. We're talking people in this community that have some pretty cool vehicles that they're going to bring down, and you can sit in them, blow those horns. It drives us nuts every year, but it's so much fun.
I was going to say, I don't know what it is, but some of this machinery, it's pretty cool. No
it's
matter
great.
how old you are. I know it's for the kids, but, but
It's cool
the
to see how
adults
they
get
work,
caught up too.
you know? Yeah, it's really, really cool to see how they work. I mean, you see these snowplows and everything going down your streets in the winter, but you really don't know all the gadgets they have inside them to make everything work. And it's really exciting. Yeah, like you say, for all ages. And the best part is it's all free. It's free admission. It's free parking on site. And the pop-ups on the bay are still open. So there's lots of options there for your lunch or a snack, or take your dinner home with you if you want to. The event runs from 10 until 3. And we've also brought in some other food vendors. We've got Berlin 95, we've got Terrific, we've got the Pink Funnel, which is awesome, sweet treats. So there's no lack of things to eat either. But as I say, it's free admission and free parking. People need to come down 10 to 3 this Saturday.
It's going to be a great fun. Once again, it's all, just bring a few dollars if you want to get some snacks in there and enjoy that. What a great day it's going to be on Saturday. Kicks off the next 90 days for you. We need to save some dates on our calendars. What else is going to be going on in the next few months?
Oh, my goodness, it's crazy. We have just taken over the city's Diwali celebration for the South Asian community. That is Sunday, October 16th, but everyone is invited. It's the most unique and fun way to learn about other cultures. It's incredible. So Sunday, October 16th, that's down at Swix as well from 2 until 8 p.m., and it ends with fireworks. And there's sparklers and all kinds of exciting arts and crafts and just some fun stuff. And it's a very fun, family-oriented culture to learn about. So we're hoping people will come out and support that as well. And, of course, Santa comes to town on Sunday, November the 20th, with our annual parade going down Bridge Street in Belleville.
Okay.
So save those dates. Mark your calendars. October 16th, Diwali celebration, and the Santa Claus parade, November 20th.
Okay.
But FTF, first things first, Family Fun Fest coming up on Saturday from 10 until 3 in Westwicks Park on behalf of the community again. Hey, Chamber of Commerce, thanks for doing all this fun stuff for us.
Thank you so much, Susan.
Thank you guys for always sponsoring these events. And I know some of your personnel is going to be on board with us on Saturday, too. So looking forward to seeing them.
Can't wait.
Fire truck around, we'll be there.
Yeah, we'll see if you can push a few horns.
Promise?
I promise. I'll walk you around myself.
Susan Walsh from the Belleville Chamber of Commerce. Thanks so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you so much. Take care.
Sure to be a fun time for everyone. And as always, this is what's so great about these events. They're absolutely free.
They are.
Bring a couple of dollars, as you pointed out, talking to Susan, for the food. But otherwise, you can just go down and enjoy some family fun, Westwicks Park, and we're going to have a lovely day for it. And you'll feel good about it. You'll feel happy. I guarantee it afterwards. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. It's about almost 2 dozen. This list came out. It's the feelings of happiness and how long happiness lasts after these events. Mm-hmm. So talk to Wayne when you get home and say, when the Leafs knock off the Bruins, right? Or much like a big rival game, how good do you feel and for how long? Because apparently when your favorite sports team wins a big game, that happiness lasts longer than when he hears you say, I love you, Wayne. See, and that's why I question it. Because it also says on there, spending time with your family and with the Family Fun Fest, that'd be a great opportunity. Yep. But that's lower than your sports team and saying, I love you. And I would think that should maybe be, like, don't get me wrong. I get it. You're a sports fan. You love your team. And you're going to feel joy and happiness if they win. But longer than the time that you'd spend with your family? Let me ask you this, longer than hearing I love you? How many times do you think my wife has said I love you to me? In your lifetime or just today? In my lifetime. Well, I think she says it several times a day to you. She absolutely does. Yes. How many times in my lifetime has my team won a Super Bowl? It's rare. It's rare. That your team's won a Super Bowl? Yeah. Your team has won quite a few Super Bowls. 6. My wife will say I love you more than 6 times to me today. It's a thing that we do. Yeah. So I'm not saying that it's commonplace, but if the I love you lasts 4 hours, doesn't that also say it's probably a rarer occurrence than it should be? Never take it for granted. Good point. Never take it for granted. Very good point. But if your partner says to you, I love you, and you go, what brought that on? That's a problem. So perhaps, now you're right, a light bulb just went off in my mind. Because that's what I saw when I looked at that. Looking at this list, that never occurred to me. I look at this list because a lot of items happen quite often. And I think, really? That's a long time to be happy after this. Or maybe that's not long enough. For instance, the like I said, finding a deal
Yeah, when you find a
feel-
bargain in a shop, 3 hours, 39 minutes, you feel
Yes.
good.
And that doesn't happen all the time. So I actually hang on to it for quite a bit. But
Yeah.
you mentioning I love you, like you and your wife, my husband and I say it quite a bit to each
Sure,
other too.
yeah.
And though I love hearing it and it does make me feel good, does it make me feel good for 4 hours after hearing it?
No.
Probably not, but I
Right.
hear it more often.
Yeah.
So you're right. If you only hear it maybe once in
Rarely.
a blue moon,
Yep.
the feelings would last longer after hearing it.
Happiness of playing with a pet is 3 hours, 47 minutes.
You were doing that this morning. Do you still feel happy?
Read theradiostation.com. You'll be happy all day. Because he doesn't come in every day. I mean, even if he did, like,
See,
I
you
don't
know,
think I would take that for
I never
granted.
thought of it that way.
But when
It's
I
the
looked at
rarity.
these, it's like, because booking a vacation, because you don't do that every day. Booking that vacation.
But I would argue that one too because it breaks it down in hours and minutes. I think you're happy with that vacation until you go on that vacation.
Yeah, true.
I do at least. I get so excited, and I am excited until happy even until I go on that vacation.
You walk out of the travel agent's office or you're done clicking whoever, you booked the vacation. Not just searching, but it's booked.
Booked.
It's
You're
ready to
going.
go, circle the day. Apparently you're happy for 4 hours and 31 minutes after. And I would argue you're right. It's weeks
Yeah.
that you're just
You start a
looking forward
countdown
to
on the
it.
calendar, and every time you look at that number going down, you get happy. So
Yeah.
I would think it would be a lot longer.
Sociologists have done more than enough polls I've seen that the anticipation of vacation is often
Yes.
better than the vacation
Yes.
itself. Because for months you've looked forward to it. You got so much joy looking forward to it. And not that the vacation let you down or didn't live up to it, but that week of happiness and then over, it's like, boy, I want to go back to the part where I was happy I was about to go.
Exactly.
Instead of,
it's the excitement and the anticipation of it.
don't be sad, it's over. Be happy it happened. Garbage. I almost
whatever.
want to go back.
But
on.
it's on there too when you return from vacation.
Yeah.
How long does that last?
Finishing a workout. So
I'm sorry, who's happy? Well, I guess
Yeah.
you are happy because it's done. I don't think it's the residual effects so much that make you happy.
it's the endorphins probably, but that's 3 hours, 36 minutes. The same amount of happy time you get once you're done cleaning or tidying your house, and 2 minutes longer than eating a chocolate bar. So hearing I love you lasts 20 minutes longer than a Kit Kat. Yeah. So
See,
I don't
yeah,
know.
I don't know. I don't know either.
Having a cold alcoholic drink on a hot day,
That's
3
pretty
hours,
nice.
17 minutes. Listening
That
to a
does
song
make me happy.
that fills you with nostalgia, 3 hours and 9 minutes. Hearing
Again,
that
if I
song.
haven't heard the song in a really long time,
Yeah.
that sounds about right.
Eating junk food, 3 hours, 6 minutes.
Now, you took that as actually eating junk food for
For
3
3 hours and 6 minutes of
Not
happiness.
having it and then feeling happy.
yeah.
Actually eating for
Right.
3 hours.
Sitting in that recliner for a football game, 3 hours. Halftime's there because I got to pee. I got the baby bladder. I
You know
can't
what?
hang around.
Sometimes chips and dip really
Yeah.
do bring happiness.
Oh, my gosh.
But 3 hours of happiness,
I don't know about that.
I don't know.
Here's something that wasn't on there that I'll save for the podcast. Great sex, weeks. Happiness, weeks. Bad sex, days.
Minutes.
Days. No, days.
No, really?
Better.
No,
No,
thanks.
way.
No.
No. Because that's fine.
Sex isn't on there. And it's interesting you bring that up because there's a few things. I'm curious to know how they came up with a list this specific.
Right. Like
A chocolate bar as opposed to having sex.
Yeah. Chocolate bar is opposed to going to a movie.
Yeah. Seeing a good movie, reading a good book.
Yeah.
Because that lasts, after I've read
Yeah.
a good book, it sits with me for a while. I want to say days.
Yeah, finishing a project at work, the satisfaction of finishing a product at work.
Yeah, something you've worked so hard on to have
things
it
we
finished.
do all the time.
Yep.
Why would a chocolate bar get you almost 4 hours worth of happiness? Mm-hmm. And then I looked, a lot of this was in the UK. Well, all right.
I guess they don't have sex in the UK.
No, well, that was the joke. And they got their own sadness over there now, so they could use some happiness. What are we going to do about Monday? It's going to be a national day of mourning.
That's the question, right?
And then we talked this morning because it's just, while it isn't necessarily confusing, it isn't really clear either on who gets a day off on Monday.
I think this will just add fuel to the people who don't like Justin Trudeau. And I'm not going to lie, because when he says comments like this, he kind of opens a can of worms.
yeah.
So he goes on TV, makes this big announcement that no, Monday's going to be seen as a day of mourning. And we're going to, as a country, we're going to take the day and mourn. It's great for you to say. Wonderful. The federal government has decided that it's going to be a day of mourning. Again, hearing that and reading the headlines, it's like, yeah, okay. So Monday we're going to take the day and mourn. What he really said what he really meant was federal employees. So if you work for the government, if you're a politician, you get the day off.
Civil servant.
You
And then
get the day
civil
off.
servant, you get the day off.
The rest of it is kind of gray.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean the country's shutting down for the day to mourn Queen Elizabeth. It means that federal government employees, but not automatically to those working in federally regulated industries, will get the day off.
Such as us.
Such as us.
Regulated
Banks,
by the CRTC.
airlines, post offices, and crown corporations and media don't automatically get the day off.
So it's
now
hit and miss.
Now it goes province by province. Now it says, okay, well, no, it's actually up to the province now to decide what's going on. Like and when you say that, you hear it, you think, oh, that's so nice. And yes, okay, we're joining together. But what you're really saying is, I'm not working. I'm going to the UK and going to the memorial service, which is fine. But don't say things like this because people take it as a blanket statement when in fact it isn't. So in Ontario, it's not a holiday. Things will not shut down. Doug Ford, the premier, has come out and say nothing's going to stop.
Right.
But I would ask that at 1:00, you take a moment and remember. It's going to be a day to observe, a day of mourning, but a day to observe the passing of Queen Elizabeth.
Yeah. And I'm okay with that.
Like Remembrance Day, only at 1 on Monday.
I'm okay with not having a day off. A little bit of the confusion, I'm certainly not, backing him, is it's been 70 years since we've had to go through this.
Certainly, yeah. So nobody really knew
what the protocols are.
Exactly. Do we, don't we?
What did they do back in Canada in 1952, the last time it happened?
Exactly.
It's not what we're going to necessarily do in 2022. But latest on that, of course, as always, you'll find at inquinty.ca. And we'll have our Throwback Thursday tomorrow for the Terry Fox run this weekend. We have our running songs from 1986, Team Marcus, Mike and the Mechanics, Silent Running, which is faring better than I thought, but still trailing.
It's pretty
yours.
close, only by a couple of votes. And it's funny, I just updated it here and had a look, refreshed it to see where we were with voting. And the top 2 votes, so Kathy said, hands down, Team Mark.
Okay.
And the one right below her was Team Charity, no question.
Okay.
So
yeah.
It is. We're getting both sides. People are getting
you're
in there.
Using
Kate Bush is running up that hill.
Running up that hill from Stranger
One of
Things.
the biggest songs of the summer. As soon as we said running theme, I was like, yes.
Hang on. I thought you did running theme so you could play that song. I thought the song came
running
first.
theme was for Terry Fox.
Okay.
And then
that
it
seemed
clicked
coincidental to me.
I really didn't know what song I was going to, because originally, and we played it up on air as a joke, but I was kind of thinking Walking on Sunshine.
We use walking songs for Terry Fox.
Because I don't run, I walk.
Right. So,
even with the Terry Fox
does.
run, I walk. So that's where my mind went. But no, when we finally settled on running, I started to think about running, and there it came.
And of course, never
then
far. And then I had to think about it because I didn't know which way I wanted to go, but I really do like that song. I never get to hear Silent Running from
And
Mike
I didn't
the
think I
Mechanics.
knew it. And you're right. Once you played it for me, I knew exactly what song. And it's a good song. And you don't hear it.
Yeah. And that's kind of what Throwback Thursday is all about for our friends at Burger Revolution. So get your votes in on Facebook. Winning song tomorrow after the 8 o'clock news. It'll be new movies at the box office, which is absolutely starving for good movies.
Yeah, I hope there's a good one
Hopefully
this
Jimmy's
weekend.
got something for it this morning.
Please.
We get you set for a busy weekend on the way. Will be just a couple of days to get there. So lots to talk about with the United Way campaign today. Terry Fox run on Sunday. Hospital Gala for BGH on Saturday night. So wake up tomorrow morning with Mark and Charity Mornings. It's the Mark and Charity Coffee Podcast. You're on Spotify, YouTube, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get them. Be sure and subscribe. We have it up by 11 o'clock in the morning. Thanks for listening. We'll talk to you tomorrow.